Hey YouTube, it's your girl Gina Love back with another video. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you doing, my busy bees? Staying busy, I hope. Keeping it sexy, always. And I figured, how sexier can it be? Let's do another face mask, get ready to go out the door look, right? Right. So, I figured I'll use my Okalan Bright palette. Let me show you the palette. She is super bright and has not one neutral in here. No, no, no. So a lot of you, including myself, I'm not overwhelmed by color. Don't get me wrong. But do you want to pull in another palette? Do you need to pull in another palette? Not necessarily. There are a few mattes in here that you can work with. And that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you a very simple way to not really be scared of color. Because all of the colors are matched up, if you look, in pairs. And they're hooked up to where you could do a single look and deepen it up with color. I mean, yeah, these two are shimmers right here. So I would jump over to this one for this one and this one to this one. And just do a two look. And then they have the two oranges, the yellow and orange together. You could do a matte or you can use all four. And I can even see all four of them being used if you want to upgrade to three or four colors, you know? But a lot of us, not sometimes me included, we just cannot deal with the overwhelming amount of color. But of course, I am here to show you how to make it wearable. So I pulled out, yes, we pull out an extra palette just so we can have a few neutrals that we do love and we know that are true, right? So these are my very neutral brown to deepen and a very neutral matte. I want to say terracotta orange or tangerine type color. I'm going to prime my eyes with the Born This Way concealer. Yes. And I'm just going to use a silicone sponge to spread it around. Because I still feel that when I go to the grocery store, even if I'm going in a bathrobe, that's just a little ha 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 for you. But yes, I don't care what I wear on my body to go to the stove. But I do care what I wear on my face. And I do like the fact that if you're going to stare at me in my eyes and eyeball me because I make a cough noise, I've been talking with that mask on, I'm a little dry mouth or whatever, and you're going to sit there and give me the eyeball, I'm going to eyeball you back with some good looking, cat eyes, That's just my gig on that. You got to keep it real with people because a lot of times they like to play you. And they definitely like to play me. I don't know, it's just because they see a black woman coming and they want to play the whole, let's just upset her to see how she can fly off the handle card. But honestly, I don't get that upset. And you can't upset me that easily. Many have tried, and none have been successful. I mean, I grew up in a house with 36 grandchildren coming in and out. Okay, and I'm number one, and I just never threw that in their faces. But, honestly, I'm number one, and my name means it. My name is Grandma's favorite one, so I used to throw that in their face, like, don't try to play me. I set my face with the Ciate London, I set my eye with the Ciate London watermelon setting powder. I'm just trying it out slowly but surely. As you see, it's really, really white, and I'm kind of scared of it. It says translucent, but you know how that goes for your girls of color. It is not 101% true. And we'll clean everything up around the eyes afterwards. I got this Beauty 360. It's a CVS brand. It's a gentle eye makeup remover that removes waterproof makeup, and it also breaks down your lash glue like nobody's business, y'all. I swear. I've been using it now for a couple days, And I figured it's time for me to recommend it if I really like it, because I ended up going back and getting it for the 2-for-1. So now you got, and it's only $7 for 2-for-1, $3.50 a bottle. It's a CVS brand, 360i, 360 Beauty. So just to let you know, that's what your girl was shaking up over here to make sure it's shooken up. And I'm gonna let it settle so you can see it's not oily, but you should shake it up. It does look like it's an oil in there, but it literally says it does not leave an oil residue, which it doesn't, and it's not oily. So let's start out with a big, fluffy, Morphe N0, no, M15, N519, can't speak today, brush. And I'm just going to take that terracotta orange that I told you, and I'm going to mix it with that brown and put that in as my transition color, which is very pigment. And this is from, these eyeshadows are from Ruby May. So if you were wondering. And yeah, I got a little cough. And it's not because I'm sick. And I hate to have to explain that to people, but I will straight up tell them, hey, I have asthma. And it's smoky out here with these fires. So my asthma has been acting up really bad. So please forgive me if I have a little cough. And I hate that I have to say it, but I have to say it. And even when I have my kids out and they make a little cough, we have chronic asthma. It is just something we got. And I hate that with this corona thing, or this, pandemic going around. And it's not just corona anymore. It's all kinds of viruses going around that, people want to eyeball you like you are the pandemic. And I'm like, dude, get a job. Something a little better suited for complaining, like customer service. Just saying. Because when I was in customer service, that was the best way to deal with complainers. So now that I feel comfortable and laid down a transition shade, now it's time to decide what you want to do and where you want to go. And because your girl loves to be very flamboyant, and I'm wearing my Nickelodeon shirt. Actually, I'm wearing my son's Nickelodeon shirt. Shh, don't tell him. I'm figuring I'm going to dip into that blue and that purple. That was side by side. And I'm going to use the same Morphe brush. And I'm going to put that right up in here. Ooh, look at that color coming through, child. I'm going to dab that in, tap and pull just a little bit. This is I believe, my first okalan palette, however you would like to pronounce it. Google says Oakland. I look at it and it says, I see okalan. But yes, and I'm just tapping that in. I'm not even blending it. I'm just tapping it in because I don't want any fallout on my face. I just want to see, too, if it's going to be any fallout on my face. But I've been testing that theory of tapping motions with some dusty palettes and seeing if I actually need to worry about doing my foundation first or not. Because I mostly do my foundation on off camera for you guys so you can see a full, glamorous face. But in all actuality, I've told you guys about how this pandemic has changed my makeup game, and that is really true, where I'm only doing a par face, so I'm using less foundation every day. I'm using less concealer, sometimes more concealer, and sometimes more setting powder under my eye, just to make sure my eyes are nice and bright, and just in case any just in case, so I sweat or I'm wearing my sunglasses, I don't look like a hot mess under my eyes because I'm wearing a mask the whole time. But yes, I am not mad at this color coming through, and I'm just gonna rub whatever color is left on the brush. Now that's one thing I can despise about Morphe brushes, is the stainage is real. It doesn't matter what color you use on this white dual fiber brush. It's like a synthetic dual fiber. It is stains like nobody's business. More so with color than it does with neutrals. But you see, I put that all over the eye, and I did a little like cat look, you know, bringing it in. I'm gonna clean that off with my color switch, just to show you that it does stain pretty good. And that's with the color switch. Okay, now I'm gonna take this rosy pink that I told you that was a cross next to the orangey red, and I'm gonna put that under my brow and also use that to blend out that transition shade and the blue a little bit. Yeah, that is my biggest dilemma right now with the world, is I haven't explained with these California fires my asthma cough. So my son doesn't like to really go out much. My eldest son, not my eldest, but my middle child, because he's like, Mom, they're always looking and they're always saying something. And I'm like, I know, baby. We can't help everybody's ignorance. We can't. You know, we can only help ourselves and educate ourselves. So that's what I do. And I'm going to take a flat shader brush and go into that turquoise green color, which is right next to that blue. It almost looks just like the brush itself. And let's see if, ooh yeah, that girl slid right on in there. That pigment, that glitter, not glitter, but that shimmer shine came through. No problem. I was hoping I would not have to deal with any setting sprays. And yeah, your girl don't got to. Awesome. And I'm pulling that almost all over that color that I had on there previous, the blue. And that's only because we're going to deepen it up a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more smokier for my skin tone. But if you like it like this, you can literally just stop right here and just blend that out. Like I'm saying, let me get the clean blender brush and blend this out. The edges of it. And there, you can actually stop right there. But I'm going to go back into that same blue I started with and deepen it up again, because I lost a little bit of it. And I'm just doing my little classic wiggling a little bit, because that blue is very vivid, and I just wanted to wiggle it in there just to make sure I have the gradients of it, you know, matching up. And then I'm going to take a little of that brown that I did to deepen it up just a little bit more, and just in a little C. Just in a little C. Just a little C around the edge of my eye makeup look. Just to smoke it out just a little bit more, you know? And then I like to drag it back across the top. That way it blends everybody in together. Okay? And when that happens, honestly, you don't need to worry about much. But I do see some fallout, and so I'm just going to clean that up. Okay. And before we attempt to smoke the bottom of the eye, we put a little concealer. You know, just enough to make me feel comfortable. And always right here on my temple, because that's where I seem to be like, ugh, with my head. And I'm just going to use my little dual brush and tap it in. This is a $1 billion brush. from Billion Dollar Beauty that I got in a BoxyCharm a while ago. A lot of people didn't really like it just because of the storage. You know, it's hard to store a double-ended brush when you don't want to ruin the fibers. But I really, really, really love it. And I just flip the brush around and tap the rest in. Kinda. Right in the eye. I gotta close my eyes, I'm sorry. Okay. And then I will set that once again with Buzy London. Just to keep trying it out, giving it its fair shake at life. And it smells like a sickly sweet watermelon, which is cute. And I don't have any foundation on. I just want to mattify the rest of my skin. That's seen, you know. Because I do have facial, you know, lotions and moisturizers on, but I don't want to put on foundation. I want it to stay mostly right under the eye and just right above the nose. Okay. And then just to give it a pop of color, I'm going to use the yellow, which would probably be too much color, but I'm going to do it anyways, because who doesn't love a good pop of yellow? And I'm going to use some setting spray because I don't want it to fall out. Not really being as bright as it should be. Next time I'll probably use a white base under it because it is just not really popping as yellow as it could be. Let's do one more thing. Let's pick a pencil brush. And I'm going to use a pencil brush, a soft pencil brush. Because there's hard pencil brushes, and there's some that are soft like this. And I'm going to close my eye. That way I can smoke it out a little further down. There we go. And that way it's seen a lot better. You know, smoke it down a little bit more on my my little eye puff. I mean, we got to embrace these imperfections that we don't like of ourselves, you know. And I know a lot of people don't want to embrace their eye wrinkles or their under eye wrinkles and things like that. But to be honest with you, I embrace it due to the fact that I earned every one of these wrinkles, and they're mine. So if anybody has a problem with them, they can come talk to the wrinkle, because I personally don't mind, you know, because they're mine. And then I'm just going to take a little setting powder to dust away any of that yellow that got away from me, because it did a little bit, did get away from me. And now I'll go back over it. Now the setting powder, the setting spray is dried, and blend it. That's just my little thing. If I want a color to be seen under my eye and kind of like not really worry about anything else but my eye, I'll do that, you know. And then just keep it simple and keep it classy. See if I got me a, not quite. Wasn't, well, get my brow products out, because, you know, I have done that. Have you done that? I've definitely done that. Gone to the store without my brows on and just be like, what were you thinking, girlfriend? So I'm also, once again, I'm using the $1 Billion Brow, oh no, Brow Bar powder. And I'm using the darkest color, which I really shouldn't have to use the darkest color, but it's just the way I like to blend it out, that it works for me. Especially when I haven't, you know, really manicured my brows in like a month. Dealing with the broken arm is not easy to get an even shot at narrowing your eyebrows properly, because I don't pluck them and I don't shave my brows, because that will definitely take away from them coming back. If you're ever trying to grow them back, you really don't want to, you know, pluck them from the root, because you can stump the growth. But I love the way that I can blend this out with the brown, and it just be with the lighter brown on top of the darker brown, and then just boom. Even though they're not sisters or cousins, it's all good. You know? This one always rounds out, and this one kind of always has the perfect shape. Drives me batty. Okay. I know you're like, why is she cleaning up already and she's still on video? Because that's how we do things. You don't want to accidentally put your fingernails into anything. You don't want anything to spill. You know, powder could fly somewhere. Things happen. So that's the way I like to do it. I'm going to use my Tarte 2-in-1 and just line my waterline with black. Like, I love that a lot of brands have started doing the dual-ended, especially for $22. I feel more comfortable buying a dual end when I know for a fact that either way it goes, you know that you're getting the same amount of product as you would if you bought the single for $22. You're going to get a short stick, and you're going to get a long, you know, wand on the other side that's not going to necessarily give you all that you want. But it's all good, you know, when it comes in a subscription box. But I actually cannot complain about this one, because this is a really nice black. It goes on shiny, but it dries down matte. And you can get that perfect wing that you want, or just the glide of your eye. And I'm just measuring it out to my eyebrow. I'm not eyelashes. I'm not necessarily trying to get a wing. But I do want it to go in deep into my inner corner, because it makes me feel a little bit more dangerous. I like to call it my cut you eyes. Do you see them? Do you see them kind of cutting you? That mama look? Kind of need that sometimes when I go out in public where I live, because people are crazy here. Alright, and I'm going to use this Ipsy slash Betty Boo collab mascara. I have actually fallen in love with this mascara. It has given me that false appeal. So if you haven't had a chance to try it out, I figured try it out. For $3, you can't beat that with a stick. Because I did not try it out when it first came out. It's just been sitting in the Ipsy bag, collecting memorabilia type momentum, and I'm like, girl, you know better than that. That's wasteful makeuping. You can always keep the empty component if you want, because of Betty Boo on it. And I was like, oh yeah, it's always good to have a good talk with yourself. When it comes to wasteful makeuping, you know? But I want to show you how, I don't know if you can see it from there, but how spectacular my lashes look now. Like, falsies please is what it makes me feel. Like, this is the perfect falsie mascara. The wand and the, um, what you call it? One second. Okay. Sorry for the phone call, but they happen, right? And here we go. Brand new mask. These are the ones I got, the 3-pack from Walmart. They got a nice little cuff to it. You just stretch it a little bit to my face because they're brand spanking new. But what do you think? You feel less intimidated now by color? Now you got your little shimmer going on. And still got the little brightness. I hope this helps anyone who's having a fear with color. What I will do is revisit this palette a few more times and do a couple more looks, and then from there we'll decide if you're okay with color, because I think that anyone could rock the two, colors and your transition color and a blend out color, no problem. It's always optional to do the under eye, to never feel like you have to do anything that does not make you feel comfortable, especially if it's just because it's a trend. Trends aren't for everybody. They definitely weren't for me. Glitter is definitely not my friend. But yes, I adore you, respect you, and admire you, and thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. If you would, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you part of the family. And if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment, I will definitely get right back at you. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day. Bye.